And good morning to everybody. This is your Michael Tanner, your most favorite host at the Dice Media Group Experience. And I got myself some competition this morning. I have Maccabee, Mac Griffin. He was in the military for 10 years or so, has been highly successful in the past 2 years doing voiceovers. He works for YouTube people and TV series such as PBS and other things. We'll be talking to him for the morning. Good morning, everybody. Wake up. It is 6 a.m. wherever you are. It's like Mahitaville somewhere, right? Anyway, thank you so much, and be with us right now. I've got Mac. Mac, can you hear me okay? Mac, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I can.
It's great. Mac has kids and stuff, so we're going to try to fly through this as we're still all kind of working at home, right? So you were in a PBS show and you're doing a TV series right now. Is that right or something?
When I was in high school, which was a very, very long time ago, I was lucky enough to know some people that were working for the PBS located in Louisville, Kentucky. And they had got me a spot as an extra in a PBS show called The Odyssey of Lyman Johnson. And this was back in, I'll date myself, back in the mid to early 90s. And I was lucky enough to do that. And then, in my 40s now, I recently was able to work with a company called Caters Media Group located in Birmingham, England, to create a show called Planet Wild TV. And if you want to think of it in a certain way, it is like adding Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and America's Funniest Home Videos all rolled up into one.
Wow.
And it will be airing on TBD.com and TBD in August of this year.
Okay, what channel? Do I have to have cable to get TBD or
TBD? You can, and it's not in every state, unfortunately. That most people that are lucky can see it on, and cable, but you can actually go to TBD.com and actually watch it as well.
Okay. So you had an exciting adventure in the military, and then you came and you started doing voiceover. Like, do you do weird voices? Are you good with this? Can you talk like this, right? Can you, whatever.
It depends on what project I'm a part of. Yes, I can do a few character voices that I've created over the years playing Dungeons and Dragons, as well as doing stories for my kids when they were younger. But I also provide services to help small businesses to medium businesses, solopreneurs, a way to get their name out there in either promos, business narrations, on-hold messages. It's just a variety of services that I can do. I try to think of myself as a jack of all trades.
So, like, if somebody says, "I want you to put your voice on my phone" or something, you might be willing to do that, right? If they hit a like on the video or something like that, you might be persuaded one of these people could be like a special lucky winner and get Maccabee Griffin's special voice on their answering machine, or something like that.
We could talk about it. We could talk about it. Yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with that.
Okay. Can you do Batman, or what kind of? I mean, do you have all the stuff? I mean,
it's always Batman for some reason.
I know. Well,
there's a variety of different versions of it, but I guess the closest one I can think of to do for myself would be I'm Batman.
Yes,
that'd be the closest to it. I'm Batman. It's not. Batman is so. There's so many varieties of it. You just have to make them your own. For me, it's literally just lowering my tone just a little bit and just doing it like I'm Batman. But I do. Yes, I do a little bit of character voices, like I said, for a variety of different things. You can do this little voice right here.
for any variety of different like little goblins or even little characters that just want to be happy.
I've been able to do variety of different ways of telling a different story. But then of course there's a different way to explain exactly what I do.
So, and yeah, you can always leave a voice. So, the you can always leave a cease and desist voice or something like that. Whatever you can. I guess the idea is that
now.
you are you going to be doing any audiobooks or anything? Is that on the horizon? Do you practice? Is there a website that we can go kind of, you know, get the Griffin experience?
To get the Griffin experience, yes, you can actually head over to Mac Griffin VO, MacGriffin as in Victor Oscar.com.
Okay. Now, how many platforms? I mean, are you on like Twitter or Instagram or anything?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Those are the only ones that work for me, honestly.
Really? So which one gets you jobs? I mean, if you had to kill the other two.
If I had to kill the other two, I would say Facebook would be the one that I would keep. Okay. Just because it allows me to show the more business side of me. Now, obviously, it's the one I'm mostly on instead of Twitter and Instagram.
Okay. What are some of the things that are important? Like for you to get ready, I have a hard time memorizing lines and things like that, right? So, but you're usually reading your lines, right? What are some of the things that we do when you approach? Do you type out your script in all caps? What are you doing when you if you're going to be reading something? How much practice do you have to have? That kind of stuff.
It depends on the project, but I try to put as much time into whatever I'm reading, because I want to be able to give whoever I'm working with or working for the best product that they can use. So it depends. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I'll be able to, if it's for a big project, I'll be able to get it within 3 to 5 days. So it gives me plenty of time to work on it. And then of course, if it's something that I'm writing for a client, then,
so
I can do it within.
So you're not just reading. Yes. You write your commercials. Like, do you have an example or something you can show us right now that you've got polished or whatever? Or
right now, no, because many of the things are locked with the rights, copywriting.
Okay. Yeah.
But for me, I can always tell you exactly, a little spiel about my business, of course.
Sure.
So if I was doing my own little commercial about myself, it would be like, "Hi, my name is Maccabee Griffin of Mac Griffin VO. The VO stands for Voiceover That Tells Your Story, where professionally read business narrations and commercials will help excel your digital business to the next level, with commercials for TV and radio to explainer videos and promos for your future clients. So let's sit down and find the voice that'll help you tell your story one word at a time."
Yes. See, that's called nailing it. That's really good. So you have kind of a southern accent sometimes. Can you change the accent easily, or is it hard to change to be more neutral? Have you heard that before a little bit?
Well, I did grow up in the country when I was little, so yeah. I grew up with a bunch of hillbillies and rednecks. Born and bred in Indiana, and I've seen the world. I've done it all, and I enjoy having a little bit of twang in my voice, especially when my children, who are 5 and 14 now, they definitely understand when Daddy has got to that point where he can't, where they need to stop hitting that big red button that says, "Hit Dad, get Dad, get Dad, get Dad." So when I get a little bit of a twang in my voice, man, they definitely know not to mess with me. Yeah. But it's easy for me to somewhat go into different accents, just depending on how well I can do that accent. Okay. because when I try to do an accent for someone, I try to make sure that I'm not disrespecting said person with an actual accent from that location. So
You being from the South, have you ever told a kid, "Go get me a switch and bring it back"? Or no?
I've had that in the country, yes, and I have also I was born in the time frame where a paddle with holes drilled in it was big enough and good enough to get you hit, or like my hillbilly mama used to use was a wooden spoon. I had many of the wooden spoons broken over my behind.
Ah, you're making batter.
Yep.
That's, all right.
Oh, making batter something good. They're making something.
Yeah. What are there things that we would like to? I mean, so when you approach different voices and you're thinking about a different role, when we're going to a corporate client, what are some things that we want? Because a lot of people that watch us are YouTubers, you know, the 1,000 or so, whatever. What type of things are we going to be cognizant of when we approach a corporate client? What are some of the things that we say we definitely don't say? What are mistakes? I mean, you've been doing this for 2 years now, so
With the experience that I've had with dealing with corporations and small businesses, the biggest thing that you can do that will get you kicked out of that room and or lose that client is either talking too much or talking out your butt. Don't do either one of those.
okay.
The best thing that you can do is just sit down and talk to them like me and you are talking, and just ask them exactly, how can I help you? What is it that you need from me? And then you just sit there and you brainstorm something. And this is how I am with anybody and everybody that I work with.
Okay. Do you have an agent, or did you get an agent?
I do have an agent. His name is Peter. He's with PCG Talent in Columbus, Ohio. Um, he is one that I use definitely for the bigger clients, for like commercials and anything for TV or some voiceover. But of course, I'm also my own small business too. So I also have to do that hustle and networking as well.
Did you get an LLC, or are you still a sole proprietor, or how do you? What is
I
it?
am a sole proprietor at this moment, but I have paperwork in the process for an LLC.
Okay. And that just makes it so they can't sue you. So, or will they
Right.
sue you? They leave you a bag. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What what are like favorite foods that you're big and strong and was a sergeant in the military? What are your favorite foods that what's the best? Let's put it this way: you're from the South. Where's the best barbecue that you can think of? What is it?
I am not originally from the South. I'm from the Midwest,
Okay.
in Indiana, but I have been in the South. I was stationed in Louisiana at Fort Polk, Louisiana, for almost 5 years. Um, I would say the best place to go get pulled pork was definitely New Orleans. New Orleans, and Alexander, Alexander, Alexandria, Louisiana. Those are the good places to actually go, just to find the old mom and pop restaurants that are all over that place, because you can't just stick with one specific barbecue, because
Okay.
everybody has a unique way of making it, and that's what makes everything so good.
Okay. What are some of the things that you would if we could get you like any movie project or anything, a voiceover project, what would
Ooh,
that anything?
anything.
What would you like to do?
For the big stuff, I would anything that would be working with, Pixar or any of the big video game companies that are out there, Bethesda, EA. But for me, honestly, even working with a small solopreneur is is big for me,
Okay.
because I know that I'm making an impact in their life.
So you don't want to be like a Star Trek, captain of a starship or something like that on voiceover.
No. For me, to me is, yes, if I can get those big ones, that's fine. That would be great, but it's not going to be one of those things that breaks me. I think my biggest thing I would love to do would be able to be even a small voice in a video game that my kids could play. If I can do that, I can die happy,
You can
honestly.
your kids played a video game, and yeah, you're crabby. That's you're crabby in the video game. Okay.
Hey, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a good video game that has a good story and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What are some of the things that you would like? Is there a charity or something that you like that you're involved with or anything like that right now?
There's a variety to me. Right, the organizations and foundations that I love dearly right now is one in Pennsylvania called I'm Able Foundation. It's
Okay.
a veteran-owned company that helps people that are needing help in healthcare or just needing to find their footing again. They work with kids with autism and Down syndrome to get them physically uh, fit in a way, just to make them feel more comfortable, give them that confidence. They help veterans that want to get biking again, so they help them to provide bikes for them, or just helping someone just that needs to get in better shape. You know, they're so broad with what they do. It's wonderful. Another one that I love is just almost any of them that work with veterans and help
Okay.
them to get back on their feet.
So you're a stay-at-home dad, but you do this thing called Men of Hope. Is that right, or something?
Yes, Men of Hope is a group that's on Facebook and Alignable. And if you don't know what Alignable is a platform where small businesses can go on and network and find each other and help each other to refer them to get what they need and get the clients that they need. But what we do is that we not only sit down every morning at from 8:30 or from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Um, but we also do it Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 7:30. Sometimes it goes over, depending on what the spirit does for us. And we not only go over a devotion of the day or scripture of the day, but we also try to take that and put it into context in our personal lives.
Okay. You
And
worked on
that
this.
way we actually can live it.
That's that's amazing though, because it's a everyday thing. I mean, or it's a regular
Mhm.
thing. You worked on this
Yes.
project called Camouflage, right? It was, and it's going to be
Yes.
out.
Camouflage.
It came
It,
out a little bit
mhm.
ago. Could you tell me
Yes.
about it?
Camouflage is a short animated film that I got the part for. The main character, uh, his or her name is Amoff, and a small part for a police officer named uh, Detective Clint. And basically, what it is a film about how we hide ourselves, and we're not showing our true selves, and we're afraid of what other people will think about us. Um, it takes it from a sci-fi point of view, but the character I actually played was a you could consider it a non-binary character. Um, it was a female alien who was hiding as a male alien who was hiding as a human,
Okay.
a male human.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different layers to it, but it went to the Image Film Festival in Norway in April 14th, I believe it was.
Yeah, it
And
says the
now it
premiere was
is,
like April 8th,
yes,
2021.
April 8th, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And uh it did so well there, they're actually taking it across Europe now to the various different other film festivals too, and
If
showing it.
somebody wanted to see that, I see something on your website. Is there a link that you can provide, or a way that they can
You can
get a
go
good look at?
to you can go to the to Move Studios homepage, Moves MOOVES. I believe it's .eu, or because it's a European one. Um, but they've got a variety of different ones on there, and I believe Camouflage is on there right now, or at least the trailer part for it. Just because it's still going across Europe right now, that
Okay.
it's actually going to do that.
Okay. Is there something? Okay, let's say your kids are 8 and 14. Um,
6 and 14,
oh,
or
6 and 14.
5 and 14, excuse me. Yes.
So pretty soon, in 3 years, he'll say, "Daddy, Daddy, I want to join the army." And what would you say to him?
Go for it.
Go for the army.
I would say, here's the thing for me is that even though I know how hard it is, and my my oldest actually grew up in the military as a military brat. He was born in the army. When I got out in 2015, he was about 5, almost 6 years old at that time. So he knows what type of life it is, and he knows how hard it is. Because for us, it's not about there's a lot of people out there that think of soldiers as just go out there and kill and that's it. We just go out to different places, we police other people out, and we murder other people. But we do a whole lot more than that. We're not just soldiers. Yes, we're soldiers first, and then our military job second. But we are out there to not only protect and serve foreign and domestic, we also have an oath to help those around us. And that's why we do such thing as helping during natural disasters, or during the pandemic, or just we're there to help and protect and serve, just like the police are, just like firefighters, everybody else, the medical doctors and nurses, everybody.
Yeah, I noticed that you do like if you go into your demos, reads, and samples. There are things for uplifting things that you can listen to. Do you have like a weekly thing that you have, or something like that, where people can tune in and they can just listen to you? Is there
I
something that
wish I did at the time. Unfortunately for me, I don't, just because I don't have the time to do it. Between being a stay-at-home dad and a voiceover actor and a business owner, um, it is something, as much as I would love to do, I find that if I'm able to take care of my kids and take care of my family, take care of my community, then that's enough for me. You know,
okay? All right. What type of skills transfer from the military over in? Oh, excuse me. What kind of skills transfer from the military over into doing voiceover and things like that? What did you learn?
there's a lot of different things that it teaches you. Duty, honor, respect, selfless service, personal courage, loyalty, um, being flexible. There's a lot of things that you have to adapt and overcome. There's a variety of things the military can teach you, but it is your job to learn it, understand it, and live it.
Okay, so you didn't learn. They didn't really help you with your voices, what you say,
No.
or
Well, they helped with creating voices for me sometimes, I think. But for me it is my kids and Dungeons and Dragons.
about
Those
Dungeons
are
and
the things that
Dragons. Now we all understand that fifth edition sucks, and
oh, we're not going to play this game. No.
no, no. What do you play? Will you play Dungeons and Dragons? Is it with your kids, or do you get online, or how do you do that? What it's like? How I mean, are you playing like because of the pandemic? It's hard to get together with people right now. Are
Hmm.
you done with that, or are you going to a shop?
No, I'm never done with it. I'm never done with it. As much as I'd like to some days, I am never done with it. No. As a DM, I've DM'd for, or dungeon mastered, or game mastered, however you want to play it and say it. I've done that for some coworkers of mine in the past. I did that for almost 3 years. I love creating the stories. I'm a homebrew guy,
Okay.
and I love bringing in Celtic lore and stuff like that. Um, but I do play weekly or every other week with a group of people online. We use Fantasy Grounds.
Oh,
Um, and we just go through that and have fun.
yeah. Currently, I I understand Fantasy Grounds is different. I use Roll20. What's the difference between
Mhm.
what's Fantasy Grounds allow you to do? I mean, have you had experience with Roll20 and other things like that, or is
I
it just
have Fantasy Grounds a lot easier for you as a player to play on.
okay?
It's also a lot easier for people to enjoy and not have to worry about buying so many different things and being set up, and you have to have this and you have to have that and you have to put a lot more money into things. A lot of these things, yes, obviously you have to pay for the digital versions of the manuals and stuff like that, but for me it helps to keep it more simplistic and less complex than Roll20 does.
What books did you read growing up that are like D&D related, or what books that help you do your job right now? You know, what are some
I
books?
I honestly didn't. I wasn't really much of a reader when I was a kid. If I did, it was mystery books. The thing that helps me to create characters right now is honestly just looking at the minis. Sometimes I literally have a bunch of them above me right now. But also, you know, old radio shows help me to create characters. They help me to create the background stories for certain things. My personal experiences help me to create characters, because if you can't actually put yourself in the character form or whatever you're doing, then you're not going to be um, there's not going to be any personal connection there for you, and people aren't going to believe you.
So believability is by connecting to your past, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
you've mentioned Celtic lore. What's some of
Hmm.
the thing? What's your favorite Celtic character?
um oh
And I'm
man,
going
there's
to
so
trick you in
many.
just a second.
Oh
Then I'm
really?
gonna yes. Then I'm gonna make you say,
Okay,
what
okay.
does that character sound like? So,
I would say the Dogda. He sounds more like to me, just looking at him makes me think of Sean Connery.
okay.
Um, oh, you want me to try to do it?
Yes. This is the
I
trick.
have a really bad Sean Connery that I do. It's a
Right.
really bad one. I am so sorry for anybody who's listening. Um, but for me, it's kind of like this. He kind of sounds more like me.
Sean Connery sounds like you. Okay. What is the doctor?
Well, it's a little bit
What
differently,
is the
but
doctor? I don't know what that is. So
the Dogda. I'm sorry. Once again, the character sometimes I get out. The Dogda is basically the Celtic version of Zeus. He's the um, father of the Tuatha De Danann, which were the supernatural versions of people who actually lived in Ireland before the oh, what are they called? Before the Vikings and other Anglo Saxons came into the area. Um, for as the It was the Milesians, excuse me, the Milesians before the Milesians came in to Ireland. Um, he is the one that develops with strength. He is in charge of um, food and drink. He's got a variety of different things that he is in charge of, that he's his specialties.
hi, this is Michael Tanner with Dice Media Group. If you need to have sound, if you need to have some production done, you need to get yourself online and activated. This is their chance. Just reach Dice Media Group at www.dicemediagroup.com. Hey, everybody. Thank you as the music rolls. And here comes Maccabee Griffin. And we're going to be talking just for a few more minutes. And Maccabee's going to tell us the key to voice acting and all those great things in the Hollywood world, right? And Maccabee, are you back? Are you back with us?
I am. Thank you for having me
Okay.
back.
All right, great to be back. We left. If you had 2 minutes to talk to somebody, and they says, "Why should I hire Maccabee instead of Sean Connery?" What would you say?
Oh, there's no doubt on that one. Always go after Sean Connery. He's got a lot more experience and he's a lot better actor than I am. But for me, I think when I'm talking to people or trying to pitch something to them, pitch myself to them, I always try to explain to them that I can only be myself. I can only be who I am. And the best way that I do that is by learning about who they are or whatever they're wanting their message to be. I am someone, I try to stay humble. I really do, because if not, God has a way of putting me back in my place if I get a big ego. I'm definitely one that does not have an ego. I've learned my ways on that one. But for me, like I said, I'm very personable. I've had 20 plus years of experience with theater, with music, with life in general. I've got, 40 plus years on that one. But for me, it's all about the story. It's all about the personal touch. So if you want someone who has a warm but grizzly type of sound to their voice, and do you want something that is humble and warm, then come to me.
That's a good pitch. Anyway, thank you so much for being with us. This is your favoriteest of hosts, right? It's host, something like that. Joining with Maccabee Griffin, my name is Michael Tanner with Dice Media Group, the Dice Media Group Experience. Joining you on the morning trip every Monday morning or about is when we release at 6 a.m. And that would be, well, it's way too early on my time. 6 a.m. Eastern time, 4 a.m. on Mountain time, and that would be 3 a.m. Why are you still up at Pacific time? Thank you for joining with us, and thank you. And we're going to be out as the music comes in, and we are out of here. You have a great weekend, or a great few days, or a hump day, or what all those other days. See you soon.